Oh heavens, I'm a Republican. That's one of the great sins of in American society right now is to be a Republican, to have voted for Donald Trump. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. And in the software community, there is a very strong dominance of Democrats. So there's a lot of young software developers who couldn't possibly tolerate another Donald Trump presidency, and think that I'm the incarnation of the devil because I thought Donald Trump might actually have done a good job.
Is that a position you've always held? Have you always been? Have you a lifelong Republican? Has it changed over your lifetime at all?
It has not changed as far as party affiliation. I understand it because I debate this stuff so much with so many people on Twitter and Facebook. I understand the positions much more. I have a much more nuanced view of what it means to be a Republican and what it means to be a Democrat and how the spectrum of those political ideologies change. So I look at myself nowadays and think, well, okay, I vote Republican. I am not a Republican. I'm more on the libertarian side.
Okay, well, how do you define a libertarian for someone who's sat in the UK who doesn't really know that term specifically in the US context?
The easiest way to define a libertarian is to say, "You guys do whatever you want. I'm going to do whatever I want, and let's not get into a big row about it." That's kind of what it means to be a libertarian.
In terms of like Donald Trump having done a good job, etc., is that something where are, are you being argumentative on the internet, or is it something you hold true? I mean, where do you stand on Donald Trump having done a good job?
So there's two ways to look at Donald Trump. You look at him personally as a human, and he's terrible. He's a braggart. He's a narcissist. He's just a very low character human being. From a policy point of view, he did a lot of very good things, and it was very surprising to me. My initial when he first became a candidate, I thought, oh my God, this guy's going to destroy everything. And the only reason I voted for him the first time is that I thought Hillary would probably be a little bit worse. But it was a very close thing. I walked into the polling booth and looked at those two names and thought, my God, how am I reduced to this horrible decision? And then I held my nose and voted for Donald Trump. And then at the end of that, once Trump became president and um, you started enacting policies, I'd sit back and go, well, okay, that was a good policy. And okay, that was a good policy. And if the economy was doing well and there was peace breaking out in the Middle East and wages were rising and all the normal indications of a good administration were soaring. Meanwhile, the debate over his character was raging. It was all about character. And there's all this lies and stuff about Russian collusion, and it was crazy. It was a crazy time. But in the end, I look at Donald Trump and think, well, okay, I think as president, if you ignore his character, if you ignore the stupid tweets that he made on the toilet at 3 in the morning, the policies he enacted were pretty good. Now, do I want him as president again? No, I think we should have a much better character in the office. I do not want him to run again. I don't want him to be president. Would I vote for him again if he was the nominee? And it was Biden, and yeah, I would definitely choose Trump over Biden. But it would be another one of those things where I walk into the polling booth and hold my nose.
Even so, following the January 6th insurrection, like does that not sit? Because the other thing is, as well, I think he probably deteriorated over the time in terms of his ability to string a sentence together. But like the the insurrection, that's got to sit uncomfortably for you, surely.
The moment of January 6th, when I saw him tell people to go to the Capitol and protest, not riot, protest, and he used the word peacefully, but doesn't matter to me. Um, that's when I said, okay, this guy's got to go. And I just posted on Facebook. You can find those posts if you want to. He needs to be removed from office. He's got to go. Now, the January 6th thing has been blown ridiculously out of proportion. Yes, it was terrible. It was bad. There were a few hundred people who got all stirred up and they went into the Capitol, and some of them broke in and some of them were let in. And some of them did some damage, and one guy in horns. was sitting there. Yeah, okay, all right. So bad. It was bad, no doubt. And Donald Trump was complicit in that. Not specifically. He did not tell people to riot, but he should have known. And there was no reason for him to protest what was essentially a pro forma procedure that was going to happen one way or the other. There was no backing out. Mike Pence was not going to block the electoral college count. So it was completely stupid. But that's Donald Trump, right? He's a man of low character. He's a narcissist. He's a braggart. He's a boaster.
I'm just
And
amazed that you said that you would vote for him again.
if it came down to Trump versus Biden, I would definitely vote for Trump again because Biden is a disaster. He is a disaster. And you don't want to get into this, right?